Oh, Nitpick. As most of you have probably heard by now, Satoru Iwata, the president of Nintendo and an extremely talented game programmer, has passed away. He worked on multiple different games from Smash Bros. To Pokemon and was highly revered not only inside Nintendo but by many people he met. Now I'm not one for mourning death. I'd rather celebrate Iwata's life. And what better way to do that than by doing my thing with one of the very first games he ever programmed for Nintendo. That's supposed to be Balloon Fight.
Just watch her go.
Right. It's on my Wii U. I'm an idiot. Balloon Fight has 3 separate modes of play, A, B, and C. It also just taught me the beginning of the alphabet. Learn something new every day! Mode A and B are the same mode, just with either 1 or 2 players. Mode C is what's named Balloon Trip. In the classic 1-player mode, you're a lonely man whose primary goal is to stop the birds in each stage from having a good time. After you have slain your foes, you continue on to a different location where you repeat the process again, and again, and again. I mean, seriously, what's wrong with this guy? You got a bunch of birds trying to start off their morning right by getting a little pump action. What if their wings are broken and the only way they fly is through these balloons? That means our balloon fighter is killing handicapped animals. What kind of sick freak? One thing I noticed immediately playing Balloon Fight was the absence of a timer. This sort of thing was popularized in Super Mario Bros., and many other developers would shoehorn it into their games to add the illusion of difficulty. But not Iwata. Man is a god.
Please understand.
Instead, if you take too long in a stage, the rain clouds that are always curiously hanging around decide to go ape on your ass. Once a bolt hits the area, they dance around like a Windows 98 screensaver. If you are so much as grazed by one of these bolts, it's lights out. Another way to instantly die is trying to go fishing near the water at the bottom of the screen. Only problem is, you're the bait. The bird enemies you have it out for come in 3 different varieties: pink, green, and off-white. Each color has different AI attached to it, with pink being dumb, green being normal, and off-white being genius! The real kicker is it's near impossible to tell the difference between pink and off-white enemies unless you own a magnifying glass. This was obviously intentional and a way for the developers to make the game more difficult. I've got my eyes on you, Iwata. You'll also come across a few stages with the flipper. Yeah, remember that thing from Smash Bros? Well, it's just as annoying here. My advice, stay the hell away from it. Period. Every few levels you beat, the game treats you to a bonus stage. Here, you collect balloons to increase your high score. If you nab every balloon, you get a huge amount of points that jumps your score a ridiculous amount. The irony here is, unlike other games which give you an extra life at a set score, Balloon Fight doesn't. It's only for the hardcore. After playing through quite a few stages, you'll find things are beginning to look familiar. Oh, this is one of those games.
It's endless.
Just like Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, you don't beat Balloon Fight. It may take some time, but through persistence and frustration, it will beat you. To change things up a bit, we have Balloon Trip. The goal here is to make your way through an obstacle course of electricity, collecting balloons to increase your rank. There's no bird enemies to mutilate here, which dampens the fun a bit if you ask me. And every once in a while, a bubble will rise up from the water. If you touch it, everything freezes except you for a few seconds, allowing balloon gathering to be a bit easier. Your rank starts at 50 and slowly decreases the more points you get. When it eventually reaches 1, you're rewarded with nothing. The only objective is to make your score meteor and meteor until you die. In Balloon Trip, our balloon fighter leaves the safety of his home, heading out into the dangerous night for an odd objective: collecting balloons. He already has 2 of his own, but most likely he's gathering these floating spheres for he is running low on supply. The music in Balloon Trip is happy, upbeat. We have yet to witness the true horror of what this gathering entails. Then, in Mode A, we see our balloon fighter using his newly acquired items for the ultimate evil, killing helpless animals. The music that was center stage in Balloon Trip is no longer present. There is only silence. All that is heard are the ear-piercing shrieks of the fowl trying to fly away from our killer. They scream in agony each time their broken wings flap. But they must to escape the ballooned devil. It is futile.
And that is Balloon Fight. It really is a fun little game on the NES. If you know what you're doing, it can be bested in around 30 to 40 minutes.
But since every mode of play is endless, is the game truly ever over?
The only way to win is by maxing out the high score, then taking a picture of it before you turn the console off.
Since Balloon Fight doesn't have a save battery like Legend of Zelda, every score is lost upon a reset. Some might say Balloon Fight is a rip-off of Joust, a game which was released 2 years earlier, but with changing levels, deeper gameplay, and an entirely different mode called Balloon Trip.
I'd rather play Balloon Fight any day.
Hey,